another teacher that we were.
So sorry.
Oh,
Keep going.
do I need to mash continue or something?
Mm,
No.
yeah, yeah, click continue if
Okay,
that's still
I
up
got
on
it.
your screen. So sorry, my
Okay.
fault.
Um, okay, what was the question? I'm so sorry.
What was it that actually piqued your interest about Plexus? Like, I know
um,
you shared that you heard about it from your friends who were teaching with you, but I mean, a lot of us have heard about it, but what made you think, I think I want to try that?
I think what it was at the time I had a really rough, I guess 3 or 4 years, I would say. I was in a really bad car accident,
Mm,
and I was in a lot of different, I had to end up having back surgery. But before all of that, trying to figure out where the pain was coming from and everything, I was just on a lot of different medicine. And as you know, the medicines all have bad side effects and stuff like that. And so with that, I was in a lot of pain. I had gained a little weight. I felt terrible. But whenever finally decided I would give it a try, I had already had back surgery by that point in time, but I still was like, I just did not feel good. And so, like, I stayed sick all the time, and I was going to the doctor's office nonstop, for allergies, colds, sinus infections. There would be times where I would have to take off several days at a time. And sometimes it was multiple times a school year because I would literally lose my voice, like nothing would come out. And I was just extremely tired all the time. And so
you take a
I
lot of
I wanted to start
antibiotics?
it because of weight. I wanted to lose weight. That was my honest
Mm,
thing to begin with.
yeah. Had you been taking a lot of antibiotics with all of the back surgeries and
Um,
issues?
Not for the back. I was on a really, really, really strong one when I had back surgery. I had to take it, like, several days before and like a week after, just because it was to do with the spine. But because of my sinus infections and allergies and asthma, I was on, what do you call it, albuterol. I
Mhm.
was on steroids on and off, just all kind of stuff. I lived off of Claritin and Allegra, and then I was on Mucinex, and it was just constantly something, no spray. And I remember one time, right before I started getting really consistent with it, I went to the doctor, and he was like, "What medicines are you taking?" Well, you don't really think about when this sounds crazy, but when you're taking all of that, you don't think about all the different ones you take. Because yeah, you might take one right now and every
Mhm.
morning. Well, then as the day goes on, and you just say, you have a sinus headache, and you need some Sudafed, so you go take that. You don't really think about everything. And then when I started going for my checkups, I was like, wow, I have a lot of prescriptions he's calling in. So that kind of, I was like, that's not really healthy for you. And whenever I would take one, then it would have a side effect and it would cause another issue. Um,
Wow.
Growing up, my mom was always big into like the probiotics and different stuff like that before they even became popular. I'm talking about like years and years ago. So that kind of piqued my interest in it because she was more of
Mhm.
a homeopathic person. So I knew that, and she'd always say, you got to get your gut in line. And growing up, I had stomach ulcers, different things like that. So, in the back of my mind, I guess I always knew that the probiotics were something I really needed to try.
Yeah, wow, that's really interesting. My background is in nursing, and then I transitioned into a second career in education, but y'all, they didn't teach us anything about gut health in nursing school. I mean, we were lucky to get 30 minutes on nutrition. It was all diagnose, prescribe, treat, diagnose, prescribe, treat. And so much like you, just that was the era we grew up in. Something's wrong with you, you got to have an antibiotic. And man, it does wreak havoc on our systems. So thank you for sharing your background because that's really helpful to understand kind of where you were coming from. Melanie, what did you start with? What were you taking when you first started with Plexus?
Each time I started with the triplex. And
Okay.
so and I'll just be honest, I didn't like water. I craved cokes. I lived off of coke and caffeine, sweet stuff all the time.
Mm,
But I did not like water, so I felt like I really needed some water. And I tried the triplex, and whenever I started being consistent with it, I noticed that it really and truly made me crave water, which sounds kind of weird maybe.
no,
Um,
I get
but
it.
I actually got to where I drank more water and I would crave it. And so, which, overall, I always would get UTI infections and different things like that. So I felt like that was making a difference too. So, but like I said, it wasn't like an overnight cure all. And so whenever I finally really started being consistent with it,
Mm.
I kind of said to heck with losing weight. I need to focus on getting healthy. And so, and I do, I feel a lot better taking it. And the probiotics, I think because I was on pain medicine, for over 5 years, and I didn't take it as prescribed because I didn't want to be a pill popper. But I had to take an extended release, I can't think of what they called it, but it was an extended release pain medication
Mm.
that was highly addictive. And they had to increase the amount of it like one time because my body got so used to it. But I did that just to get through the day. Well, because I had to take that for like 5 years just to get through it, and then took a muscle relaxer at night so I could go to sleep a little bit. Because of that, I guess it really messed up my stomach. And so, and I've always been prone to have like, I am lactose intolerant. I've always had a lot of stomach issues, kind of like a nervous stomach. I would always worry about things I really didn't need to worry about growing up. And like I said, I had a bacterial stomach ulcer when I was in high school and in college. And so I had to be treated for that. So I guess over time, plus all of that pain medicine, it just messed my stomach up.
That
So
makes
my
total
stomach,
sense.
it hurt every day, all day.
Bless your
Um,
heart.
but taking the probiotics, and like I said, I don't really remember how long it took for me to take it every day, but I took the triplex, as it was recommended. And I didn't just take 2 probio 5s because I knew it wasn't going to hurt me. Starting off, I took a low dose, but I built it up to try to get my allergies, better and in line. And
Right.
so, but over a few months, I really noticed a huge difference. No more stomach aches, different things like that. So, yeah.
Okay. How has your product regimen changed over the years? Like how long?
I do the triplex every day, and
Okay.
so I take my probiotics at night, before I go to bed. I take the Probio 5, the triplex, the Slim. I like the hunger control.
Mhm.
I like the flavor of it, so I take it every day, before lunch. Um, the bio cleanse, I take it every night. I had huge like stomach, like going to the bathroom issues.
Mhm.
And I take more than what some people do. So I take 3, sometimes 4, depending on, how everything's going, what all I've eaten and that kind of thing. And then I started, as I started taking it, I started trying different products. And so, and I like all of them that I've tried, I like. I love the ease, but I have a lot of allergies, and so I can't take it for a long period of time because of the seafood, the fish, the shellfish, all that different stuff I'm allergic to. So I can't take it. I think it has salmon in it, or something like that. So I can't take it all of the time, but I can take it in small amounts, and it does help a lot.
Good deal. Wow, that's really interesting. Um, how long did you say you've been using these products?
Since 2019,
Okay, so a little while.
consistently.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
for you. Good for you. You are just beautiful and you are glowing.
Thank you.
You really are. So
My
thank
fish lights in the background.
yeah, we can't really see them.
Yeah.
We really can't. I'm just curious because you've been around, I guess, long enough now to kind of get a taste for the full picture of what Plexus is. Has there been anything that has surprised you through your connection with Plexus?
As far as like taking the supplements and your overall health,
Really, just
um,
anything? Yeah.
anything. I think that overall, if I had anything to say, would be and to tell people, yes, you can get your money back and all that different things if you aren't satisfied. But if you have a really messed up system like I did, and
Mhm.
if it's just all out of whack, you're going to need to give it, even though you might can get your money back and later on you might not can, give it longer than a month or 2 months or 3 months because you really and truly, and even now I've started losing weight. I guess maybe the past 6 months I've lost some, but when you don't do it, when you take out the losing weight factor and you do it for your overall health or whatever, to feel better, to me, those are results that you might not see rapidly, but over time and being consistent, you will feel so much better. And so I wish I had started a long time ago, years before 2019, and did it for the right reasons instead of just doing it. Oh, I need a quick fix to lose weight. And I really wish because I mean it just helps so many different things. Like I have PCOS, it's helped that, it's helped balance my hormones a lot. Like I said, it makes me want to drink water. You can ask Melissa Deaton. I love candy and I don't like chocolate, but I could eat Laffy Taffy all day long and could just drink Cokes nonstop. And I don't crave that kind of stuff anymore. And used to, I would teach all day long, and then I would come home and just start like raiding the cabinets and getting whatever I could get, like whether it be chocolate chip cookies or ice cream. And I do that while I'm cooking dinner, and then I wouldn't eat anything healthy. So this has made me like crave healthier stuff. I don't crave the
Mhm.
sweet stuff. And then now, whenever I do eat it, it doesn't taste good. And when I heard people say that, I really thought, yeah, right. But no, over time. So to me, it's not going to be a 1 month, a 2 month, or a 3 month fix. It's something that, you're dedicated. If you're wanting to lose weight, go exercise. You got to do it every day and maintain that lifestyle. To me, the probiotics and all of the supplements are not going to work until you truly let your body absorb them and take, it's going to take time. So if you're more messed up and you have a lot of issues going on like I did, it's going to take a little while longer than a couple of months. So, but
That is
then
a
it's just,
good word.
but like when you go for your doctor's offices and when you go to your checkups and they ask you, do you have this anymore? And it's like, no, I really hadn't had that anymore. My migraines were terrible. And at one point in time, they had me even on an antidepressant to see if maybe it was from stress. So I took that. That didn't help, but just this overall in general, and the inflammation, that the reduction of inflammation has helped in so many different ways, because you don't realize that all that inflammation too, it causes other stress on your body, like high blood pressure and things like that. And so I had gotten to a point where I've always had low blood pressure, but because of all the medicine I had been taking, I really and truly think it was starting to make my blood pressure go up. My cholesterol was a little bit elevated, and I don't eat fattening foods. Not really. Like I do ice cream every once in a while, or I did, but so I really and truly feel like it's just a good thing for your whole entire body to have.
That is absolutely the truth. I couldn't have said it better. Y'all, when we tell you that gut health changes everything, we're not kidding. It changes everything. Totally does. Melanie, thank you so much for sharing your story with us tonight. It's been a blessing to hear from you.
Thank
Y'all,
you.
I would love for you to meet our next speaker. This is Tara Anders. Tara's joining us this evening. And so, Tara, can you just kind of give us a quick little snapshot about where do you live? Do you work outside the home? Tell us about your kids. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how you got introduced to Plexus.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. I'm Tara. I live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Roll Tide.
We see you.
Um, I've been married to my husband, Scott, for 17 years. We have 3 children, 14, just turned 14 Sunday, 14, 11, and 8.
Wow.
And I am a nurse by trade. I went to nursing school at Alabama. I worked in the ER here in Tuscaloosa for 10 years and quit altogether after my third child was born. I worked for about 3 months after she was born and just decided to stay at home. I do sub for the schools that my kids go to for their nurse. So
That is
it's
so
a
awesome.
fun little side job.
Yeah, it is. But honestly, I mean, the training that you get in nursing is something you'll use no matter what your vocation is. I used it so much,
Completely.
in teaching.
Used side story, used it on the side of the road. We witnessed a wreck on the way to the beach last week, and I went into nurse mode and helped care for a lady before the ambulance got there.
Oh my goodness.
So you just never know when
Yeah,
those nursing skills are
right.
going to
God
need to
bless you
be.
for that. I'm sure she was so grateful. You were her
Yeah, it
angel
was.
of mercy. What a blessing. Well, I'm really curious, Tara, how did you first get introduced to Plexus and what was it that piqued your interest?
Well, I'll have to be honest. It was a peer pressure thing, thanks
Oh,
to Julia Carty.
okay.
It really wasn't oh, I see these posts on Facebook. Let me see what this is about. It was here, she shoved this pink drink in my face and wanted me to try it. So I tried it and reluctantly ordered a triplex, but made sure with my doctor at the Kirkland Clinic. He looked all over all the ingredients before I begun. So it was more of a peer pressure thing for me. I guess she saw me and she always said, Tara, I don't know these people, but I keep seeing people post about having MS and starting these products, and they're having results. I was like, gosh, because I'm a nurse. I mean, I'm a nurse, and I don't need this. Like, why? I don't understand why you want me to start this. I don't have blood sugar problems. My stomach's fine. But I sure am thankful.
Mhm.
Gosh, because I started in September of 2014.
Wow, that's
So I mean, it'll be 7 years in just a couple of months that I started with it. A little background too, like I said, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which is an autoimmune disease that causes your immune system to attack the myelin sheath that covers the nerves in your brain. I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school
wow.
when I was diagnosed. So that was a life-changing moment to be told as a 17-year-old that you have a disease that has no cure, that can be chronic and something that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of my life.
Sarah, how did it present? Like, what were the things that made them investigate that when you were
I
17?
had numbness and tingling in my right arm and my right leg.
Wow.
So um, I am thankful for modern medicine. As a 17-year-old that's fixing to graduate and go to college, I needed some kind of medicine. So I had to do shots for a long time, weekly, then some that were 3 times a week. So I'm very thankful that now we've came a long way since I was 17, because I turned 40 in March. That there's a pill that I do take, one prescription medication every day. But Julia saw me and she knew I was my exhaustion and severe fatigue is one of those things with MS that, yes, I had 3 children at home, and I was a busy mom, but you would always find me on this couch. You would find me, if my kids were outside, sitting in a chair or sitting on the bleachers watching. I was not involved. So she saw me and she knew. She's like, I can't tell you too much about the details of how this is going to work for you, but please.
Wow.
And I'm thankful that she did.
Oh, we are so thankful too. We are. So you mentioned that you started with a triplex.
I did.
Can
And I
you tell us a
still,
little about that? And I know Melanie has shared that that's how she started too, but we haven't really talked about what that is. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
well, triplex is our most popular combo. And it has our slim, which you can choose from 2 different slims. It has our ProBio 5, which is our 3-in-1 power packed probiotic that also has an antifungal and an enzyme in it that breaks down all that excess yeast that's in our gut. And then we have our BioCleanse, which is our magnesium based supplement that just helps get rid of all that stuff that the ProBio 5 is killing. Now, I'll tell you, like Kelly said, they didn't teach us anything in nursing school about gut health and how much of a role that plays for every single system in our body. I have read many articles about how gut health and MS are related, because if your gut is unhealthy and inflamed, it can cause inflammation here. And if there's inflammation here, then your immune system kicks in and can cause MS symptoms. So I even asked my doctor, a very, very, very smart doctor at the Kirkland Clinic. I'm like, why have you never mentioned to me how important a probiotic is? He's like, I mean, there isn't a lot of research about it, but what research there is out there, I mean, your gut health really does play a very important role in the health of your brain and what's happening up there as well. And I didn't know that.
Research is just like exploding. You're in the checkout line of the grocery store and you're surrounded by articles on gut health.
Absolutely.
It is the new frontier of health, and you're ahead of that game, which is so exciting.
But I have not had, since I began triplex and got on a consistent regimen with triplex, I do take other products as well, but triplex is my base that I don't go a day without. And I have not had an exacerbation or an MS-like symptom since I started. So I could shout every single day from the rooftops. I never tire of sharing about how, I mean, my health has done a complete 180.
Wow.
So
Wow, that is so exciting. Tell us what some of the things are that you've seen. Like you've mentioned no MS events, but what else have you seen?
I mean, my sleep is great. I
Oh,
think
good.
that's something that, you don't really expect when you start.
Right.
But get your gut healthy, and the probiotic, I just sound sleep, whether it might be a short period of time. Hopefully it's 8 hours or more, but that doesn't always happen when you've got 3 busy kids. But sound sleep, no sugar cravings, getting rid of all that excess yeast in our gut and getting our blood sugar balanced and not having those highs and lows that helps with cravings. So yes, everything in moderation. And of course, if it's a birthday or a special occasion, I see nothing wrong with
Yes.
having something, but I'm not constantly going, like Melanie said, to the pantry in search of sweets. I don't have to survive off of runs to McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts for iced coffee and Route 44 Cokes from Sonic anymore.
Wow. That's powerful. But
Absolutely.
not just for your health, but for your pocketbook. You know,
Sure. Yes.
that is awesome. I'm wondering if you have had any surprises along the way, as far as your connection with this company goes, and you've been around for a while.
Have.
Have you had any surprises?
I was thinking about that today. And I would have to say two.
Okay.
Number one for me would be I did not begin Plexus for a quick fix diet or weight loss program. I really wasn't expecting that, but thankfully, when you get your gut health under control, when you get inflammation in your body under control, and your blood sugar balanced every day, like Melanie said, you start craving healthier things. You want to move your body. You want to drink water. And since I started, I have lost between 75 and 80 pounds. I think that would be a big surprise for me. So that's been a perk and a surprise.
Absolutely.
And number two is just I do think the community of like-minded people that care about each other, that care about your health and check on you, and not just for a business thing, but just the relationships that I've built that I would have never made 7 years ago. So
I
those would be my surprises.
Yes, and what beautiful surprises those are.
Absolutely.
As well. Melanie, you've been listening to Tara share her story. Do you have any questions for her?
No, I mean, I think she did a really good job, and I just think it's fascinating how it's helped with her MS. My mom suffered from a rare form of muscular dystrophy, so I think that's kind of why my mom she always had health issues, but they didn't find out that's what she had until she was in around 50, and so but she had a very rare form of it, and when it was in its active stages, she got very, very sick. And so when you have, like, when she had her condition or whatever, the medicines that she was prescribed just made her like sick, very sick. And so of course she had to take them, but she would always say if she didn't watch it, if she didn't try to stay healthy, then she would have been even sicker. And I think she's right. But I just feel like having your gut, until you get it balanced, you don't realize all the different issues it causes, from, having sinus infections to having even like thyroid issues and things like that. I know I was having trouble swallowing even, and I had goiters on my thyroid I didn't even know I had. But when you get all of that balanced, I feel like it really makes a huge difference. And just hearing Tara talk about how how she's healthy and, she feels great. She's not tired like she was. I think it's very encouraging. And like she said too, just the whole community of people getting together. And, while they might not have a particular issue, they may have a friend or someone else that they know that is taking the products, who has, extensively researched it and different things like that, or who have different connections who can help you. And so if you can, I truly feel like if you can get your gut healthy from the inside out, yeah, it's not saying that you're not ever going to get sick or have issues, but I really and truly feel like you'll have a happier, healthier life, and then you'll be a better mom, you'll be a better wife, whatever your career is. And so it helps you balance all the different things in life. So, and then having other like plexus friends and things on the side just even adds to it. So everybody is just precious.
That's a beautiful, beautiful way to kind of sum up the entire evening that we've had together. I know that Tara, with her background in nursing and mine as well, I'm sure many of you have always also heard that physicians, they take the Hippocratic oath, to do no harm. But it was Hippocrates himself who told us so long ago, all disease begins in the gut.
Mhm.
And we just simply, the pendulum kind of swung away from that as we moved into this whole modern Western medicine focus. And like Tara said, I am so incredibly grateful for Western
Yes.
medicine. I'm grateful for my training. I'm grateful for hospitals that help us when we have urgent need. But I'm also so incredibly grateful that now we're seeing that pendulum swing back into this whole entire realm of gut health. And y'all, it does impact everything. We've not talked a whole lot tonight about inflammation. Melanie touched on it, Tara did a little bit, but guys, when you are addressing the areas of blood sugar, stability, gut health, and inflammation, you're going to be hitting the root causes for most every illness that we see in our modern world. They're all inflammation driven. And so when we share with you about Plexus, or your friend has shared with you about these products, we want you to know this isn't just a flash in the pan. It's not a fad. It's deeply rooted in science. Our products are impeccably sourced, fully vetted, clinically studied. And so what we're offering you is a chance to take some control of your own health. And addressing gut health is probably the most powerful thing that you could do to move yourself forward. We are big believers in prevention over prescription. We are. And I am so grateful to you, Melanie. What a joy. What a beautiful soul you are. A beautiful, sweet spirit to share your story. And Tara, I am standing right up there on that rooftop with you, just cheering that God in his goodness and his mercy has led you to something that has been a blessing to your health and to your family. And y'all, I 100% agree with you both about the community that we have here. It's unparalleled. Unparalleled. My dearest, dearest friends are friendships that I have made through Plexus. Those that will encourage me and pray for me at the drop of a hat if needed. It's just such a blessing to be a part of this company that truly is on the trajectory to become the most trusted company, network marketing company in this industry. And so y'all, we're going to close our evening now. I just want to say thank you so much. If you've heard something tonight that has made you think of yourself or even a loved one, a friend, a family member, this particular recording is going to be accessible on our customer support page called Healthy Starts Here. And we also will have it posted to YouTube fairly soon. And so I just want you to know that the resource is available to you. You want to share this with somebody, just snag this recording and send it off to your friends so that they can hear from these two precious women too and be encouraged as we have been tonight. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Blessings to you both. And we'll see you next week for another Wellness Wednesday. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.